So today we're going to be visiting a Middle Eastern restaurant here inside Sao Paulo, Brazil. It is inside of Republica and it's called Vivo Ali. So we're going to be going there now.
Marcel is on the track.
About to go get some Peruvian food. It's called Rinconcito Peruano and it's inside of Republica here inside Sao Paulo, Brazil. So without further ado, let's get straight over there. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about how amazing the food here is inside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. So if you're wondering where I'm in Sao Paulo. This is the Republica neighborhood. It's like the historic district. But yeah, where we were just now at is actually a place that's like right downstairs from me. It's called Vivo Ali. So yeah, it's a Middle Eastern restaurant. It's actually pretty good. The service was really fast. Food was really good. But let's kind of have a talk about, what exactly Sao Paulo has to offer when it comes to the food in general. So let's kind of talk about that. The first thing I want to talk about is the food that I just now had last night, which is from Vivo Ali. They had some amazing food. Like, their food was really good. So first of all, it was some steak. It was like beef that I had, and it was chopped up. It was cooked very well done. So it was a steak. And then on top of that, the other thing that was there was also fries as well. So we had those fries, and they had this seasoning with the food. It was really good. It was a really good seasoning, and there was chopped onions. I usually don't like onions, but for some reason here inside Brazil they put onions on everything. So it was also pretty good. And also, fun fact, everywhere you go to eat inside of Brazil, they're always gonna have some orange juice. So get used to orange juice. You will see it all over. Suco laranja or sucro laranja or something like that. So that's one thing, you'll always find orange juice at every place. I noticed that literally everywhere I went, they've always had orange juice. So that's definitely pretty interesting. And not only that, there's also another thing that you'll notice. Their spices really spicy here. The food really spicy. If you ask for the spices, they're not just gonna throw it on your food, but they always have some kind of hot sauce or salsa on the side. And what I found is that it's typically spicy. Inside America we do eat a lot of spicy food, so it doesn't affect me like that. But if you don't like spicy foods, then just don't ask for the spices. They'll be like, do you want spices? That's what they'll ask, and then it'll be really spicy. But yeah, also on top of that, it was the beef, the steak, and the fries that were on there as well. We also had I think it was cilantro. It was like chopped cilantro that they had on the side. And then we also had I also had this diced tomatoes, diced onions. It was really good actually. And then they had this bread, this pastry to go on the side. But the presentation of the food that you go everywhere, it's like 5-star restaurant presentation. They always have it really nicely laid out on the plate. And another thing too, you'll notice they usually give you an empty plate with your food for some reason. And someone actually told me it's because they'll take and they start mixing everything on the other plate. They'll give you it in a nice presentation, and then they leave it up to you to eat it how you want to eat it. So they give you a plate to put it on separate. So if you like the presentation of it, that's why they do that. They just give you a nice presentation, and then they give you the separate plate to kind of mix everything together yourself if you want to do that. Some people like eating their food individually, some people like mixing it together alone. So that's why they put it all on one, or not all on one plate, but yeah, that's why they give you the separate plate with that. But yeah, that's also good. And another place where I went to is Rascal. They're really good. It's a really good restaurant. A little bit more on the expensive side, but it's really good. It's like it's got everything there pretty much. So I don't even want to just classify it as just Brazilian food. It's got Italian food and all that good stuff. And like you've seen in my previous video, I went to the Jamaican restaurant, Jerky's, and they had really good jerk chicken and a bunch of other stuff. They put jerk seasoning on everything there, and it's an actual Jamaican guy that owns the restaurant too. So you're gonna notice here inside of Sao Paulo, and really anywhere in Brazil, there's always a lot of good food spots, but mainly here inside of Sao Paulo, you're gonna notice they have every single culture's food. Like down the street, I have a French place. I'm probably about to go eat there next, so you might see that in the next video. I had this Italian place the other day, and yeah, I just go to all these different restaurants here, and they're not too expensive. You know, the Vivo Ali place that I went to, it was $10.27, so that's a pretty good price. I would say compared to other countries in South America, Brazil is not cheap. Brazil is definitely not cheap, especially here inside of Sao Paulo. People would probably think otherwise, but it could definitely get pretty expensive, especially eating out some places. Like the Jamaican restaurant, I spent $30 because I had a bunch of rum punches. They have like these rum drinks made the Jamaican way, so a lot of the places could get expensive. The place that I'm at now, it's only about $650 a month, and you guys already seen what it looks like in there, and I'll just go ahead and kind of show it again. But it's pretty nice, you know, for $650 a month. It's a relatively nice place. You have this work area. This is where I work on videos over here. I'm learning some Portuguese over there, and got all this other good stuff here. Camera gear, bunch of shoes here that I have, and did not make the bed. But yeah, as you can see, it is a pretty nice place. You got storage, all that good stuff in here, different drawers, and yeah, it's pretty good. And then on top of that, you got a TV here, fast internet, little burner here if you want to start cooking. I have not cooked here, and I do not plan on cooking because the food here is just too good. So definitely don't plan on cooking anything. And then you have over here this fridge. So yeah, you got good amenities here, and it's only $650 a month here inside the Republic neighborhood. But I would say in general, Brazil is definitely not cheap, and this is the historic district, so I guess some things it could look a little rundown, but it's the historic district over here. And another thing that you would want to think about, you know, if you wanted to go to like Paulista Ave or something like that, that place is more expensive. Like you'll see $1,000 a month for rent in places over there, and you get what you pay for because you're in like a high-rise condo. You're like all the way up in the air. This is the 15th floor too, so this is a pretty good spot over here too. But yeah, you're gonna notice compared to a lot of other countries, and what I hear from other people, like Brazil is more expensive. So some people say inside of a like Colombia or something, you can get a meal like $2-3, sometimes $4, $5. Even on like for street food here inside Sao Paulo, it could have cost you like $5 for some street food. So it's not relatively cheap compared to a lot of places. For instance, also Thailand, if you want to think about that, that's in Asia. A lot of cheap places to eat, probably $2, $3 for a meal. Whereas I just spent $10 last night for a meal. The other day at the Jamaica restaurant, spent $30. So it's relatively expensive, I would say, but that's just compared to what you would look at other places when you travel. And you have some other places like just a lot of other places in South America, you know, in Central America, they're more cheaper than here. And another thing also, the Ubers, pretty cheap. If you take Ubers everywhere, it's gonna be pretty cheap for you. It's like you can go across the city like $5, $10 here, $10 there, $5 here, $5 there. It's really cheap actually for the Ubers, so I really wouldn't be complaining about that. But yeah, for everything else, you know, just basic eating and stuff like that, you're definitely going to be spending a good buck on that because it could get expensive eating out every single day. And that's what I've been doing. So if you're gonna be going out every day just on food, I guess you could expect, I only eat once a day, by the way, so that's why I say that. But since I only eat once a day, I would say it's like $10 a day for me for food, because I only eat once every single day. But there's other places you could go to find cheaper food, or you could just cook yourself and you won't be spending all that money. But me personally, I'm here to travel, so I'm not here to cook and make meals and stuff like that. Maybe if someone wants to make a meal for me, but I'm not trying to do all that. But yeah, it's pretty good over here. I'll definitely be making more videos. Like I said, we're gonna be having videos coming out for Rio. We're gonna be exploring out there. I rented this Airbnb for 3 months, so I might see if I can get a refund and then go see how it is in Rio, because I know it's more expensive in Rio, so definitely gonna need that refund. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I'm gonna have a lot more videos coming out soon here for Sao Paulo, so definitely stick around there. The view here is pretty good, I guess. I like it. But yeah, I'll have a lot more videos coming soon. And yeah, let me put this down. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot more stuff coming soon here for Sao Paulo. But until then, definitely stick around, and as always, I'll be back with another video.